Yeah, here's the thing, like, Kentucky is so much like South Carolina. That's why I absolutely love coming up here. I love coming up. You're just as stubborn as we are. Oh my God, I love it. It's so great. South Carolinians are the most stubborn people on the planet. Are you from South Carolina?
Charleston.
Charleston, that's right, yeah. You got that money? Old money. I like that, old money. That's everybody in Charleston. Oh, the old people do. All right, that's fair. I like how you distinguish yourself from the old people. You're like, I've still got life. I'm good. Here's the thing. All right, so I'll tell you about my brother because I brought it up. My brother is you're smarter than he is. He's an idiot. He is an idiot. And like for example, one day he came home and apparently he used to do HVAC kind of stuff, you know, heating and air, and he got electrocuted. Like really electrocuted, like bad electrocuted. So he came home and he sat down. And I was younger. We both lived with my mom. He comes in, sits down, and the first things out of his mouth were, "Guess you heard, I can't die." And then he goes on, he's like, "Takes more than like 220,000 volts to take me down." And I was like, "Listen here, Highlander, like, come on." Nobody's impressed. You got electrocuted at work, it happens. Oh, man. And I love my family. I've been hanging out with my family a lot. I'm going to get real depressed, but then we're going to move on real quick, okay? My mom was diagnosed with breast cancer about a month ago. And well, so far everything looks really good. Like, the doctors have said everything's going to work out. It's going to be rough, but we'll get through it. The good side is I've spent a lot of time with my family. We've had a great holiday so far, seeing each other all the time. My grandfather, thank you. My grandfather just turned 90. Woo! 90 years old. And he's still like more athletic than I am. It's not fair. Like, he woke up at 5:30 this morning to go rabbit hunting with my brother. Like, that's what he was. And I love my grandfather. He's the funny one in the family. Somebody at his birthday party was like, how does it feel to be 90? How's it feel? You're 90. And this is what he said. He said, "Well, I want to make it 20 more years, and then I want to die at the hands of a jealous husband." Now, I had to pick that apart. Jealous husbands aren't 90. You kind of lose interest at about 70. Which means he's hitting on somebody like 50 years his junior. My grandmother's still alive. I don't know what he's thinking. I can just imagine my grandfather, who looks like me. He's tall and skinny, and he's got what I'm probably gonna have when this all goes away. And I can just see him being like, "Baby, let's make a mistake together." Like, this seems like the best thing ever. Oh, it's incredible. Yeah, I'm from South Carolina. I found out something interesting about South Carolina that I find fascinating. There's a few smart people out there who believe that the South Carolinian accent is the closest accent to what Shakespeare spoke. Which doesn't make any sense. It's a small group of people, but I like to believe it in my heart. I like to believe it because that means that in the 1500s, the greatest actors in the entire world got into Shakespeare's wooden O and stood out and went, "Oh, for a muse afar, that would ascend the brightest heaven of invention, a kingdom for a stage, princes to act, and monarchs to behold the swelling scene, y'all." Oh, we do. You from Charleston, so you got the nice accent. This is how we speak up here.
We do not speak like that.
Oh, we do. We do in Greenville, and I'm from Pickens County, which is right outside of Greenville. Yeah, we're from Pickens. We country people.
My daughter lives in Greenville, South Carolina.
Okay, see, here's the thing. Like, I get excited at the dumbest shit. Who else in here is trailer trash? Is anybody willing to admit it? I grew up with, like, my people are mountain people and trailer trash. You learn two things when you're mountain people and trailer trash. One, you fix it your damn self. That's the first thing you learn. Anything that's broken. I remember I was like 6 and the toilet started overflowing, and I went to my daddy. I was like, Daddy, the toilet's overflowing. And he handed me a plunger and a wrench. He said, "There you go. That's it. It's learning time." Second thing is, if there's something you want and you can't afford it, you just make it. That's what we did. When I was a kid, my mom learned early. Give me Legos. I can have whatever toy I want. That's right. I got everything that I wanted. Just give me Legos. I had Lego Ninja Turtles. I had a Lego computer. I had a Lego girlfriend. I had everything. Everything you could want. Out of Legos. Boom. Build it. Block-shaped titties, but whatever, I'll take that. I mean, you know, you deal with what you can. You're 11, you know?
Yeah, Lego's
They don't cover curves. They're not good with curves. It's incredible though. I love it. Oh gosh, I was gonna say something about being from. Oh yeah, I'll tell you what happened. I was in Tennessee 2 days ago, and I was driving up. I saw a fucking tank. I love tanks. It was on a bed. I love tanks so much for 2 reasons. One, it's a camouflage mobile home with a gun. Like first of all, that's what a tank is. It is amazing. Second of all, you can own a tank. It is legal to own a tank in this country as long as it can't shoot. That's fine. I will take it. I will take a tank. Because here's the thing. Tanks, in any other situation other than where you expect them, become amazingly silly. Imagine if you just like picked up your kid from school in a tank. I'd get there early so I didn't have to wait. I'd park, I'd get out, I'd sit cross-legged on the turret going, that one's mine, get in, we're going. It's incredible. I love tanks. I love bazookas too because they're ridiculous outside of war. I want one for home defense. And I'll tell you why. I have this wonderful scenario, because I don't sleep, I'm a comedian. I go to bed at like 6 in the morning, which means I'm up all night. So that's right, staying up late. So I can just imagine someone's going to break into my house, I hear the door jiggle, time to get the bazooka. I go into the living room, I sit in my favorite recliner, I prop it up. As soon as he breaks the lock, I turn the light on and I say something ridiculous like, I knew you'd be here. Just to see what he would do. Probably pee his pants and run away, hit his head on the wall, pass out, wakes up tied to a tank. That's his day. That's his day. Excellent, excellent. Anybody in the room ever dated my cousin? Just me? All right. I'll tell you about it. Like I said, I'm from Pickens County, South Carolina. That's what we do. I dated my cousin, and let me explain what happened. We met through a mutual friend. We did not know each other. We went to 2 different high schools. We got to talking, found out we had a lot in common. Like aunts and uncles. That was one thing we had in common. Oh yeah, cool, whatever. Woo, let's go hang out. Family reunions? Maybe not. We'll go to the movies or something. Be fun. And we dated even after we found out because we weren't closely related. It was very, very distant, so we said, well, we'll see what happens. We like each other. But then we found out exactly where we were in the system. We were 6th, 8th, and 14th cousins. Because my family tree looks more like a wreath. That's what I got going on. It just goes in circles. Every once in a while a twig will try to break off and they snap it off. We're working for them 3-armed babies and they shove it back in the middle. That's what it is. We broke up. The only reason we broke up is because I cheated on her, which was stupid. I was 17. I was young and I didn't know any better. If I had to go back, I was probably thinking something like, oh, she'll still love me. She's family. Like, she has to, right? You know what I'm talking about, man. When you get that book, when you date your relatives, it says, don't, in big letters. Yeah, I love that book. Love that book. I'll go back to the tank thing, because I absolutely love tanks. I saw this tank in Tennessee, and I'm on the road with a friend of mine. We're touring together. We go into a gas station, get gas, he gets the gas, I'm grabbing a drink. I come out the door, he's in the car, I see the tank. I get excited like a little boy. Look, there's a tank! And he can't hear me. He's like, what? So I'm like, I need to pretend to be a tank so he'll understand what I'm talking about. So I immediately go, you ever hauled to Hitler, your friend, in a gas station parking lot in Tennessee? Because I did. And he looked at me like you would look at somebody who just hauled you in a gas station parking lot.
Wait, what?
And how do you get out of that situation? Imagine if somebody had come up to me and be like, excuse me, sir, did you just Heil Hitler, your friend? I can't get out of that. I can't be like, no, I was pretending to be a tank. Like, that doesn't work. It doesn't play out that way. It doesn't work at all. It does not work. Oh, man. So, who has kids?
Fair.
You got kids? You got kids? I got kids. I like how you were like, no. Like, you're just like shaking your head like it's cold, but you're like, no. I got 2 kids. See, here's the thing. I'm 30, all right? I turned 30 back in May, which is pretty cool. I mean, it's like, I I'm starting to feel like I'm not young anymore, but I like it. I like not being young. I want to be a strange old guy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm excited about it. I want to be 45 and with a beard. 45 is not old, but I want to be older and I want to have a beard and I want to do stupid things. You know what I mean? I just moved into a new house. I got this house. I own it. I paid it off. It's mine. It's a trailer. Shut up. It's mine. And you know what I want to do with it? First of all, disco ball in every room. Second, I want to put a big yellow slide off the front steps. And you know why? Because you can't have a bad day when you start it with wee. Can't do it. Can't start a bad day that way. It's great. It's great. So I got two kids. I've got a 10-year-old who is my stepson. He lives with his father most of the time in Charlotte. And then my younger son, who's 7, lives with me. And we had to give the talk to the 10-year-old. Yeah, we had to talk about the sex. But that reminded, and we did it. We gave it all to him. We gave so much of it, he was like, can we stop now? We're like, no, we're only doing this once. You're getting everything.
I already know it all.
No, he didn't. He asked, and we gave it to him, and he got so much, he was like, no, I'm tired of this.
That's scary.
It is scary. It's scary when you like out-sex your kids. They're like, no, that's too much. We didn't need to know about menstruation. Like I'll tell you this, that reminded me when he popped the question and we got together and discussed it with him. About 4 years ago, he was about 6 years old. He came up to me and he had a tampon in his hand and he said, what's this? And I didn't want to give him the talk then. He's 6. I felt like he was a little young for that. So I gave him a version of the truth. I said, oh, that was invented to plug bullet hole wounds. Which is 100% true. Tampons were invented around the turn of the century for Army field medics to quickly plug holes. And then nurses went, Tampax, So I told him that. I said they were invented to plug bullet hole wounds. And you know what he said? Because he's smarter than me. He said, who in the house is getting shot? Every month. And there I was about to explain the shedding of a uterine wall when he says, can I have a cupcake? And I'm like, hell yeah, you can have a cupcake. You take all these cupcakes. There's like 15 cupcakes. You just eat all that and you don't mention this ever again. Woo! And I just walked away. Oh, man. God, when I was a kid, I used to think a brothel was a place you get soup. Let me tell you, that made it weird when I first went to a brothel and I brought my own spoon. I walked up to the counter and I said, how was the specials for the day? And the lady said, Tracy. I said, I haven't heard of that. Is it tomato-based? And she said, she could be. I said, I'll take it. And this nice lady named Tracy fed me soup naked, which is just as cool as you'd think. That's pretty cool. Here's the interesting thing. I was talking about my grandfather. He's really cool. I love silly old men. Like I said, I want to be a silly old man. Those men that just tickle you and there's no nastiness to it. They just tickle you and they're like, oh, like when I was a kid, I was a genius. I don't say that lightly. Like I taught myself to read when I was 2. And when I was 5, for no reason, I memorized every make and model of car on the road. Because I just did. I still don't know why I did it. And so when I went to church when I was a kid, old men would come and get me out of the nursery and walk me around the parking lot just quizzing me. What's that? Oh, it's a Ford Taurus. What's that? That's a Mitsubishi Galant. Whatever it was. That's really fun. I always liked those cars. But here's the crazy thing. Nobody thought that was weird. For an old man to take a 5-year-old just out of the nursery for 40 minutes. Like nobody ever thought, hey, maybe they shouldn't just take the kids. But that just happened. And it was all above the board. Everything was cool. Nothing ever happened to me. But looking back on it, I'm like, somebody should have said something. Like, oh, it's incredible. That's me. Like I grew up and got weird. I married a weird girl. That was cool. I'm reformed trailer trash. I had to find somebody else that was reformed trailer trash. You know what I'm talking about. You gotta have mutual contacts. My wife is great. Sometimes she does stuff that's a little weird. One day she came up to me and she said, hey, I want to get my nose pierced. And I said, okay. Because I'm not a big fan, but I'm not going to tell her what to put in her nose. And be like, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. I'm not a big fan, but if you do it, I'm not going to hate you. And she took that to mean, I don't want you to do it. So there was a little bit of tension for a couple of days, and I had to explain, no, it's fine, it's fine. But in the meantime, one day I walked in and she was on WikiHow trying to learn how to pierce her own nose. Yeah, that's exactly the right thing you're supposed to say to that response. And you can still look it up. The WikiHow is still there. And this is how it starts. Don't do this! Stop! Ah! Okay, if you've made it this far, this is how you do it. And there's a bulleted checklist on how to do it. And then at the bottom of the page, under related searches, it says how to pierce your own penis. But in parentheses, it says guys only. Is that necessary? Did they have to include that? Is that something that has to happen? I was talking about my kids the other day. Like, I've got stubborn kids. I live in a stubborn family. We're just a bunch of hard-headed motherfuckers. When my 7-year-old was 2, so we'll take you back to a 2-year-old, toddler. You've seen toddlers, they exist. This little kid comes up to me and he says, "Papa, I want some hot tea." Because we let him watch British television, and so he was like, I want to try that. That seems interesting. What is that? That's steamy tea. I've only had sweet. What's that? So we had some hot tea, but I was doing something important, like sitting. So I was like, "We don't have any." And he goes, "Come here." Not that deep. Sorry, not that deep. "Come here." And he takes me into the kitchen, and he points at where we keep the tea bags, and he sees that we have tea bags, and he says, and I'm quoting a 2-year-old at this point, he says, "You make the water hot. You put the tea bag in the hot water for 5 minutes, and then you have hot tea." The son of a bitch wrote a WikiHow article with bulleted points on how to make hot tea. He pretty much called bullshit on me immediately. He was like, "You're nothing more than a stepladder with arms. If I could reach it, I'd make it. Get it." So that's him. That's who I live with. They're all redheads too. I got a little red in my beard, but my wife is redheaded, and all my kids are redheaded. Even my dog is redheaded. And the problem is, I am not an assertive person, and it's hard to be a non-assertive father in a house full of redheads. You spend a lot of time going, "All right," like that's what you do. I'll give you a perfect example. I live across the street from my mom. We live in like a little, hill kind of commune kind of thing that some southern families do. It's fun. And I'm over at my mom's house, and a dog just walks into our house. And we do not own this dog, nor have we seen this dog. And I was playing video games with my kids, and they were watching. I was like, "Where'd that dog come from?" And they're like, "We don't know. Can we keep it?" And I was like, "I don't know whose dog this is." And then my mom, who was taking the kids off to the pool or something this over the summer, she takes the kids off, and she says this on the way out: "All right, we're leaving. Put the dog out." And I'm like, "What? But whose dog is this? Where did this dog come from?" So I let the dog out. The dog just runs off into the woods. I called my wife, and I said, "You never guess what happened when she said this dog just wandered in." And like, it came in and sat and watched me. Like, it just was a very friendly dog. Didn't have a collar. And then her first words were, "Can we keep it?" Now here's the thing. I've been married for 8 years. And so I have been a father for 8 years. And there comes a moment where you finally have to put your dad foot down. But I'm not good at putting my dad foot down. See, because like, we all have had fathers or we've known fathers who are like, "Listen here, we're going to do the thing I said because I know what's best for y'all." That doesn't work for me. This is my dad foot. If y'all could, hey, maybe we could try to, if we could possibly not do that thing that y'all are all decided and all 3 of you have agreed on doing this thing, I'm gonna maybe put my, "Do you see that?" And they're like, "No, we didn't see it, we didn't hear it. It's our dog now. We got a new dog, ladies and gentlemen. We got a new dog. Named her Sally." She's a sweet thing. We're trying to get rid of her. I'm trying to get rid of her. They're trying to strangle me in my sleep to keep the dog. Oh man, it's fun. It's fun. I remember when anybody in here have more than one kid? You have more than one kid? See, here's the problem I ran into, and I think this is a slightly unique problem. The day I was married, I got a wife and a 2-year-old the same day, because she had a kid from a previous relationship. So I knew how to deal with like a 1-year-old on. I knew because I had been there, we had dated, I knew what that was like. And then she got pregnant with my kid. Of my loins is the way I like to say it. Sounds Shakespearean. And leave me alone. I didn't know what 0 to year was like. I didn't know what that was like. So I read the books, I studied the pamphlets, I asked my friends and family, and they were just kind of like, my family were kind of mean about it. They were just like, "Oh, You're gonna be surprised. I was like, I'm asking for help. And they're like, no, you're just gonna have to watch this unfold. That's what we did with you. My grandfather was particularly excited about watching me fail for the first couple months as a father, because that's the prime time you can fail, and the kid doesn't remember it. So that was crazy. Like she gives me the nudge on June the 4th, 2009, at 1 in the morning. What the hell was that about? Baby, out, we gotta go. So we go to the hospital. We didn't go to the hospital. We went to a midwife. Neither of my children were born in hospitals. We went to a refurbished house with a jacuzzi tub. We're like, this is a good place to bring a child into the world. With quilts and jacuzzis. It'll be like they're in a mountain cabin about to fuck some girl. It'd be great. It's a good way to introduce them into the world, with a jacuzzi and a bunch of really old quilts. So she gets in there. She gets on like a medicine ball and does like the Macarena to kind of loosen things up. I don't know what that was about, but they did. Average labor time is 8 to 12 hours. That is average for those women. I see some slight nods, like that's about right. No, was yours longer or shorter?
32.
32, wow, way up. I'm sorry.
9 pound, 4 ounce.
You what?
9 pound, 4 ounce.
Both of my wife's children, I say that because I did not push them out, and I'm not about to say our kids when she did the work.
Go there.
Like she did that. They were both over 9 pounds. No drugs, by the way. She's a psychopath, really is what the best way to put it. So we're there. We got there. I got the elbow at 1, so I'm expecting it to take 8 to 12 hours. That bitch pushed out that kid in 4 hours.
Good girl.
And I panicked. I was like, what's it doing out now? It's not supposed to be out now. We've got 4 more out. Put it back. And she's like, no, like, it's out. And the midwife is like, this is your son. And I'm like, what? It's not done yet. And they're like, it's your baby. Say something to it. And I was like, So I said the only thing I could think of to say to my son was, my brain just went fog, and I just went, my baby, my baby, my baby, my baby, my baby, and people, oh thanks, like it's adorable, but that's because I couldn't think of anything else to say. Hi, how are you? My baby, my baby, my baby, and there's my wife going, bullshit, it's not your baby. I just pushed it out. The baby is not ours until after it's come out of the thing. I'm big on that. Guys, if you ever knock somebody up, let me tell you, it's not your baby till it comes out. I'm sorry, it's not yours. I hate that. We're having a child. No, we're not. We're not carrying a baby for 9 months only to have it forcefully ejected from our vagina. You just hold your hand and apologize for 9 months. That's all you do. That's your job. You pet the head, you bring the pickles and ice cream, and you say, I am so sorry I did and am doing this to you. It's an ongoing thing.
You caused the pain.
I caused the pain? I believe that 100%. I was there holding the hand going, I'm so sorry this happened. I mean, you did this before, and I thought it'd be a good idea to do a sequel, and this is terrible. I didn't even produce the first movie. I'm producing the second one, and you're directing it, and I'm just like, what? That's a weird movie analogy I just made. I think the whole point I'm trying to make throughout most of my set is that I fundamentally believe I was put together incorrectly. I'm a weird guy. I'm 30, and you know what I did to celebrate my 30th birthday? I got a street performer's license and a toy piano.
Did you get a monkey?
I didn't get a monkey, just a toy piano. Nothing says, I'm running screaming from responsibility, like buying a children's instrument and playing it for money. Like, nothing says, that's me in a nutshell. So I feel like physically I got put together incorrectly, and I'll tell you, I have this sincere belief. I believe in God 100%, and I believe that when He makes babies, He puts them together. Because He knows what you're going to look like. He knows what you're going to grow up to be, so He's like assembly line style. He puts the body, the legs, the nose, everything. He puts it together. But on the day that I was born, He went off for a coffee. And he got an intern angel to do it, and the guy works in prayer requests, so he's not qualified to put a kid together at all. So it went something like this. He's like, hey, all right, we got the baby's out. Hey, Kevin, I'm gonna go get a coffee from the cat. You want anything? No, you good? Okay, well, can you put Craig? No, it's be fine. All the parts are here. You just Put them together the way you feel is nice. You're an angel. You've been around a while. You know what babies look like. I'll be right back. And he leaves, and then Kevin comes in panicking and sweating, going, what do I do? And he's like just grabbing parts and put them together. It's like, all right, I'll give him this hair that will go away when he's like 25. It'll get really wispy and it'll be kind of bald. And then I'll give him nose hair at 30. Why do you give a kid nose hair at 30? Because nose hair doesn't grow like normal hair. Normal hair just grows, but nose hair, you wake up in the morning and you look at your nose and you go, ooh, no nose hair. Today's a sexy day. And then you turn around and it looks like spiders are trying to eat your upper lip. That's not a good look for anybody. And then he's like, all right, what else are we going to give him? A baby tooth. He's going to be 30 and he's still going to have a baby tooth. That is an asshole angel decision to give him nose hair and a baby tooth. Like, my dad didn't have the same 2 permanent teeth. Only with him, they took them both out, shoved the rest together, 50s dentistry. And with me, they were like, no, we're more sophisticated. We live in a modern time. We're going to leave the healthy one in, take the bad one out, then we're going to jab this metal rod into your gum. And I was like, no, thanks. I'll have odd numbered teeth, please. And they sent me on. And then then the angel's like, we're going to give him chest hair, but it's going to be singular. Just one. Bink! And then I'm not even going to describe the downtown mix-up because it's a horror show. And then it's going to give me arthritis. I have arthritis in my knees. Where the fuck did that come from? Like, I went to a doctor when I was 18, and I said, my knees hurt. And he said, woo, that's tough. And I was like, it's probably arthritis. He's like, no, it's not. So he tested me for like key Lyme disease or whatever else they test you for. And then he comes back, and he spins me around the chair, and he looks me dead in the eyes. A man who went to school for 12 years, and he says, well, we're scratching our heads on this one. That's not something you say. Watch ER. Try to comfort me. Watch House. Even that asshole was nice once in a while. I had a doctor look at me and go, that's what I had happen. And I have sexy feet.
Nobody has sexy feet.
I have sexy feet.
No, you don't.
Oh, thanks. I love how I got it pointed like a ballerina. Look at that. I didn't even plan that. I just...
Take your shoe off.
Oh, no.
Take your shoe off.
And the reason, it's not because I don't think I don't have sexy feet. I'm not wearing socks right now, so I can just like see the cloud come out and envelop everybody. So that's what happened. That's how I got put together. Just like a parfait of ages. Unless it was like a parfait that was like imagine if you went to like a store or like an ice cream place and you're like, I want a parfait, and you get a parfait and it's like chocolate, ice cream, grass, nail clippings. You're like, that's a fucked up parfait. Like, that's what I am. That's what I am. And then like God finally comes back and he's like, did you make Craig? And he just yells at him with a whimper like, don't make me do that again. And he runs off crying, goes back to prayer requests, picks up the phone. Prayer requests, how can I help you? No, Mrs. Holcomb, we're not sending him back. Click. You guys have been great. I hope you had a good night.
Hey, keep it going for your headliner tonight, Mr. Craig Holcomb, huh? Hey man, that guy, he does comedy shows all over, and he does one-man shows, and the talent that it requires for a man to do a 60-minute one-man show that's largely improvised is amazing. So give it up for Craig one more time, huh? All right, guys, look. Obviously, we have a smaller crowd tonight. This is a little light. Craig drove 5 hours to be here, so I'm not going to guilt you guys into putting any money in here. As a matter of fact, I think most of you guys already put money in here. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to put this right here, and if anybody was so compelled by Craig's fantastic headlining set, thank you. Oh my God, that was a $20 bill. Give it up for her, everybody. Wow. Wow. The more she drinks, the more money she gives. That's amazing. Wow. I'm going to be around here an hour from now to see what happens. All right.
What's going on here?
He was supposed to hook up with 2 if you remember.
Thank you. I did. Well, that's the 2 apparently. You came in late.
I got you, Kyle.
I don't know what y'all are talking about.
So that shit
both
up.
of us. Okay, here you go.
Oh my God. Wow.
Where's that Petey over here?
Oh my God.
He said, you all were
I bet
really
you won't put
good.
it.
Absolutely, yeah.
I bet you don't got it in you.
She will.
That would be, yeah.
Again, it's just going to degenerate into me fucking the audience. All right, guys. You've already seen your headliner. I'm getting ready to bang half of you. So, here's what we're going to do, guys. Here's what we're gonna do. You've seen your headliner. Now we are going to pick our winner for the funny four-way competition, okay? Again, this is a pro wrestling themed comedy show. What that means is you're gonna see all four of the competitors you saw do comedy earlier, but before you vote for them, they're gonna do pro wrestling style promos. So, we're gonna bring them up here in the order that you saw them. So, first, ladies and gentlemen, from Lexington, Kentucky, he's the man with the most vicious receding hairline in comedy. Please give it up for the vivacious, the loquacious Mr. Lee Blevin! We're going to bring the phone out. You're going to have 60 seconds, Mr. Lee, and then they're going to vote for you. So, Lee, without further ado, this is your opportunity to say what you want to say to all of your opponents tonight. Tonight, the world is in your hands, Mr. Lee. Here we go. What do you have to say? Why should you win?
Woo! And other things like that. Here's the truth. I've been down on the ground. I've been kicked around, but I'm coming back. I'm coming back. Alright? Some people, they pin a motherfucker. You can't pin me.
That sounds like the box.
You can't pin me at all. Yeah, I'm some kind of contact sport. Yeah. Some kind of contact sport. I gotta say, look at this motherfucker. He's got my same name. He's better looking than me. Fuck him. I got nothing bad to say about Joe because he puts me on shows. I don't wear the big fucking redneck wig. That's all I got. Woo! Give it up for Lee, everybody. Oh my god. Oh my god, he was like Ric Flair with Down syndrome. All right, everybody. Oh my god. Motherfucker, he got my name, but he better looking than me. Oh my god. All right. It is time for your second of four competitors. The second man who made his way to the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, he is also from Lexington, Kentucky, making his second appearance here ever at the Twisted Cork. Give it up for the Hebrew Hammer! He's a demolition. All right.
I can't see where shit is. You know what, Crazy Kyle? I came out here to decimate my opponents. You know, I got this little guy right here. He's probably on so much depressive medicine, he'll knock himself out anyway, so I don't even worry about him. You know, and I gotta face the Deuce Man. And I tell you what, Deuce Man, we both come from the school of hard knocks. You know how that is? You know, both come up, but we get in that squared circle, Deuce Man. 1, 2, 3, I'm gonna take you up high and bring you down low, brother. That's what I'm saying. Oh, and then I got the champion. You know what, little guy? I'm gonna break you like this. That's how it's all gonna be. And what you gonna do when the biggest stomach in this conversation destroys you?
Wow. It's in your pocket. It's in your pocket. Give it up. Give it up for the diabetic luchador, everybody. The Hebrew Hammer. Wow. Wow. That was, okay, that was a bit scary. It was scary, yes. But you're a little turned on. All right, we have 2 left, guys, so don't go anywhere because we just got 2 minutes left of this thing. So give it up for your third competitor you saw here tonight, making his debut in the Funny 4-Way. Oh my God! Give it up for Jumpin' Joe, dude!
Whoa! Let me tell you something, brother. I came up here all the way from the big city of Berea, Kentucky to decimate these pieces of shit that came up here tonight. Let me tell you something. I'm glad that the Hebrew Hammer changed clothes so that he could look like a tuxedo condom. Because before that, he looked like a substitute Baptist preacher. No one tucks in a short sleeve polo button up. We got 2 leads. One of them looks like a retired Abercrombie model, and the other one just looks retired. I don't know why you even showed up, champ. I'm taking your belt. If you had a girl, I would take her, but you only date casually through bad Tinder hookups. Your girl is safe because I respect women. And my wife's Irish. You might stab me after this shit. And Josh, I don't want to take your girl because you from the military. You might have some PTS or something. I don't know. I just got ADHD. I can't match up to your letters. But anyways, title's mine, bitch. You worked in the inner city schools. You want to say the N-word so bad? Nigga!